Just do it. Let's do it, Frank. What's up, guys? Welcome to the second video of the year. I'm your host, Frank, and this is how I spoke with one of my favorite creators, Josh Joe. He's the talented owner and creator of the YouTube channel Make Art Now, and he is also the creator of masterpieces like this one. I hope this works.
Access granted. Systems online. Estimated flight time, 3 minutes. Burbank Tower, Oscar Tango India Sierra, 3 miles east of Santa Monica, requesting low altitude flight following downtown Los Angeles, altitude 100 and climbing. Activated.
And also this one.
What the crap, the gas is touching. Found the problem. Circuitry is crossed. You have additional hardware on the same circuit. Oh crap. Josh, you might feel a little squeeze. Hang on, Josh. There are some significant electrical issues. I have to reboot the system.
Otis, don't go on the freeway. Do not go on the freeway.
Systems online.
Cities of dust, to stand intact, to mark where we've been, to testify to what we had it in us to accomplish.
Man, when I just saw the videos, my mind just blown away. Anamorphia 1 and 2 was a huge inspiration for me. It was something completely different of what I've seen in other YouTube channels. It has something really special about it, and some tremendous amount of quality and hard work, intelligent work, put it in those projects that just wow. I reached Josh via Instagram and I started making some questions, but at first he said, hey, I got a Q&A live, wanna join in? And I said, okay. Yeah, I think it was not a great idea at all, because it was over 5,000 people viewing that Q&A live and streaming. I was so nervous, and also my English is not that good. Is it good? Let me know please in your comments below. So without further ado, here's the interview with Josh Joe. I'll merge you in here. Man, I am gonna roast Frank as soon as he gets on this. He's gonna regret having a live Q&A. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna try to call Frank. Thanks for calling in, buddy. I'll talk to you after. Ciao. All right. There he is.
Finally. Thank God.
All right, Frank. We got Frank. Frank is on.
Hi, guys.
Let's see. There we go. Now we can see you. Perfect. So what's up, Frank? How'd you find me? First of all, what's your name and where are you from?
Well, thank you for having me, Josh. My name is Frank Montilla. I'm from South America, Colombia, and I've been following your work since like a year and a half.
Uh-huh. Are you able to get the microphone a little bit closer? Because for some reason, I can't get the audio up higher on the phone.
Okay. How about now?
That's about the same. All right, I'll just hold the phone higher. 1 second, Frank. 1 second, Frank. Hold on, baby.
Okay.
All right. Okay. There we go. That should work.
Okay.
All right. Can you guys hear Frank okay? So you're in Colombia?
Yeah.
Right.
I live in Colombia, in South America.
Wow. And how'd you find my channel?
I find it because I was watching some video of Peter McKinnon and some.
That's it. I gotta go. Next caller.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, come on.
Just kidding, Frank. We're just getting warmed up. Come on, man. Actually, I should have Peter on here in a little bit. He's we got to go over these prizes. So
Yeah.
So you went.
I
You.
have a few questions for you, Josh.
Okay. Yeah. Let's go
I know
for
you
it.
don't have too much time. Okay?
Yeah. What are the questions?
So, okay, where all the inspiration come from?
Where does all my inspiration come from?
Yeah.
I don't think. I think it comes from knowledge. I think that like a lot of times if you guys see a video of mine and you think it's creative or you think that like I was inspired to do something, a lot of it just comes from wondering how the world works and trying to figure it out, and then learning everything I can about it, and then applying that to the other fields that I know. I recently found a word that kind of describes this, and I don't know if this is kind of weird of me to say, but the word is Autodidact Polymath, and it basically is like a Renaissance man. It's a self-taught artist or engineer that they go and they learn everything that they can about the fields that they're in, and they teach themselves. So they read books, or they do trial and error, or they talk to experts, and I do all three. And I do this with filmmaking, but in pretty much in everything that I touch. I mean, in fact, you just kind of witnessed it a little bit with the last caller I had on Anoop with his, he does self-driving cars and, programming, and his partner Reiner does motors and just, yeah, they do a lot of high-end technical stuff that I don't have.
I know them very well.
Oh, you know them?
Yeah.
You know Exebo?
I know them. Yeah, I talked with them about a few months back. I talked with them. I spoke with one of them. I don't remember who, but I spoke with them via Instagram.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dude, they're great guys. By the way, Anoop and Reiner and the Exebo team is up in Canada. I think they're outside of Toronto. So maybe you guys can actually get me up in Toronto sometime. I don't know. Anyway, but like a good example of that inspiration is like, we had the motor that popped that went out earlier today. And, so 20 minutes before the stream, I was taking apart the motor, trying to figure out why the voltage, blew something up. And like that's stuff I don't have much experience in. But like that one little piece of experience, as brutal as it is for me and as embarrassing as it is, it's a huge learning lesson. And now I know that, the internal mechanism of that thing has a voltage that can't exceed 14 or 15 volts, right? And I think I was putting out 17, and it popped the regulator.
Wow.
Am I inspired right now? No, but like the next project I go into, I'll have that little bit of information floating around in there, and it'll just help me. It might let me ask the right questions so that then I know a little bit more. Maybe that'll lead to inspiration of something. Maybe I'll do my own Arduino project next time with my own programming. And, because I solved like the little voltage question of like, oh, now I know if it's 5 volts, it's got to be 5 volts. 12 volts, got to be 12 volts. Don't exceed 14 volts. If it's this, you know what I mean? Like, in fact, the next wave of projects that I am doing, I think I'm going to switch gears and I'm going to start doing more DIY builds. And I'm going to start integrating more Arduinos and Raspberry Pi Zeros and that kind of thing to like automate. Like, I think I'm going to do an automated desk and using actuators and stuff. Like, this is stuff I didn't go to school for. I don't know any conventional engineering. I don't think I'm not in any sense of an engineer, right? Like, I don't have any of that schooling behind me. But, you know, like today was a great example of how like how I get inspiration.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have like 30 questions, but I guess we don't have time.
Well, we got no. Just start at the top, and then we'll see how far we go. I have to. I'm gonna cut this at 12 though, so you got like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Cool.
Why make art now? Did you know if you short the words, it just says man, so you're the man.
You know what? I did. So I recently, here, actually, I'll show you guys this. I have my custom denim shirts now. I'm actually wearing one.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I don't know if you can see that. It says make art now. And I was like trying to figure out how to get the tag, like, you know, like you don't want to spell out make art now on everything. It'd be nice if you could just abbreviate it. But when you abbreviate it, M period A period N period, it's like it just looks so stupid. And so like the man portion was not in any way thought about beforehand. And I don't know how, like could you imagine reading a quote from man? It just like some inspiring quote, and it's like man. It's like no one would understand that. Like no one would get it. So
before make art now, you deal with the struggle, right?
Oh, you know, I will add one thing. Make art now has never been instructions for me. Make art now is instructions for you guys.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a lot of people get that, but occasionally, all right, I got to tell my wife to stop texting me. Stop texting me, babe. Stop it. Guys, leave me off this chat. You guys are killing me. All right, there we go. Okay, sorry, Frank. So, yeah, make art now is instructions for you guys. You know, it was more of like, I think at the time, it doesn't really matter what political views people have, but at the time, I wasn't really happy about Hillary Clinton being the president, but I definitely did not predict Donald Trump being the president. And when he was elected, it felt like such a shocker to me and all of the United States. Like, we genuinely were shocked. It just felt like the universe had just split in diverted directions. And suddenly, like, the path that we were supposed to go on, as much as people hate Hillary Clinton, like, everyone was expecting to go down that way. And then when Donald Trump got the presidency, it was like, whoa, we've entered into the Twilight Zone. Like, this is weird. At that moment, a friend of mine was like, well, what now? And he said, make art. And then I was like, make art now. That's damn right. Yeah. And so, like, you know, again, I don't care about political stuff. Like, one of my best friends, Tyler Moore, he's, you know, super conservative and great guy. My wife's father is super conservative. I'm, you know, been Democrat the whole, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I don't really care party preference anymore. Like, people are people, just got to say that. But at the time, it was such a shocker to me, and I was like, well, what now? And, you know, make art now. So it's been instructions for you guys, and I think I've like tried to hold myself accountable, you know. Like, I feel bad whenever I'm like super hard pushing a product, and I really try not to do product reviews on items that I'm not excited about, right? Like, Instead of chasing the dollar, which is like, oh, this brand will pay me $8,000 if I do a product review, but the product is terrible, right? Like, I won't do a review on it because I'm not gonna go about and bash a brand, but I'm also not gonna waste 2 weeks of my time working with an item trying to make it look good when I don't care about it. And so Make Art Now for me has always been allow the channel to morph and always do whatever it is that I want to do. And if that's going to be tech reviews, fine. If it's going to be shooting a 5-month-long film about a tech reviewer that, you know, morphs into something else, fine. You know, if it morphs into DIY builds, then, you know, then that's what's next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Before Make Art Now, as like everyone else, you did with struggle, right? I mean, working in other things that pay. In that moment, but feeling deep inside, what what you focus. I mean, before Make Art Now. Before Make Art Now,
yeah,
you deal with some struggle. But didn't you feel that you were making something wrong, that you were wasting your time, and you suddenly decided to, fuck it, I'm going to make this because I love it?
I think we all fall in the trap of like chasing views and chasing attention, right? And this is a super large topic, so I'll try to abbreviate it and get more onto your point. When I first started the channel, I didn't want fame. I didn't want followers. I didn't want subscribers. What I wanted was more opportunity. I wanted, at the time, it was 2017 actually when I was attempting to start the channel. I didn't launch the channel till a year later, till beginning of 2018. And at the time, I remember thinking that I wanted an opportunity to build a relationship with people that knew my work, and that instead of building like a reel of all of my work, that I would have more opportunity and I would have job security moving forward if I just put out an enormous body of work and people got to know me personally, and so that they would know, you know, over the course of many years, they would just know that Josh Yo like gives it 100% every time, you know, doesn't give up, problem solves, doesn't complain. You know what I mean?
I was talking, yeah, I pretty much understand that, but I was talking more about, look, now I have a job. Like a regular job, like any job.
Yeah.
But I feel deep inside me, and I know too many creators here in Latin America that feels the same, that they are doing it because the paycheck, you know? Because the paycheck, and they are struggling with that because they need the money. But
right.
What us really want to do is something like this. Having a camera all day, creating, thinking, writing, editing. Yeah.
I think that's that's the dream. Yeah.
Yeah. My question was, how was that struggle for you, and how do you overcome? And you said, okay, I'm just going to do this now, and everything else goes by.
10 years ago, I've been a waiter at a restaurant for 15 years. I don't know how old you are, but I'm 35. And so
37.
You're 37. So then you know exactly, yeah, then you know. So I had been chasing a dream while doing what you're saying, which is the side job, the stuff that I don't want to do. I've been doing that for 15 years, and the acting industry gave me zero love. Nothing. Zero. Like, it was insanity. And I was literally chasing a dream, waiting for this opportunity to come around. And finally, one day, I was like, this is not giving me, it's no longer worth, like, I honestly felt like I had been wasting my life. You know what I mean? And I think actually it was. I think the guy's name is Paulo Cohen, the Alchemist, the author of The Alchemist.
Yeah.
Have you ever read that book? I think it's where I got this quote from, but one of the things that sunk in was that the idea that nothing is wasted, right? Like knowledge, information, experience, it all makes up this soup that we're created from, you know? And so like as much as I really like as much as I hated the restaurant industry and as much as I hated auditioning and not getting the role, I can't help but feel that those terrible times that I went through really forged like a strong work ethic, and it also made me humble, and it made me realize that like I saw a lot of my friends rise to fame, and I felt left behind, you know what I mean? And
for sure.
Right? And so like I mean, I was in that state of like when is it going to be me? When am I going to get a shot? When am I going to make it, right? And so like that feeling is, I imagine, what a lot of people feel, and they're chasing after the dream of like, when am I going to break 1,000 subscribers on Instagram? When am I going to break 50,000? When am I going to get my first brand deal? You know, when am I going to get a t-shirt made with my name on it? When am I going to get to star in my own movie? You know, when is Tom Cruise going to reach out to me to play the, you know, opposite lead in the next Mission Impossible? You know, like all these things that these lofty dreams, you know, while we continue to work our day job. It's tough. And all I can say is that the people that have made it anywhere, in my experience, they have, the one thing that they share is that they haven't given up, that they keep grinding at it, they keep going for it, they pay attention to what's working, what's not working. But that, I mean, dude, I know a comedian guy that was the worst comedian I'd ever heard in my life, and he was working at the restaurant with me like 15 years ago. The guy is killing it now. He stayed with it for 15 years. And deep down inside, even me, nice guy Josh, was like, this guy should quit. This guy should give up. I was thinking that about this guy, and he's killing it now. He's killing it, and it's not because he got a lucky break. It's because he just put in so much work and so much effort, and some things that you can learn, like you can read a book and you can learn, but then other things take 10 years to finally sink in. You know what I mean? And I think that's what happened with this guy. It just finally sunk in. Like, I actually think, like, I'm not a great actor by any stretch. I'm not a Daniel Day-Lewis, but I was trained to be an actor for many years. And I think that just me taking a break for 5 years and filming Anamorphia 2, and now knowing, like, the shot angles and the story are way more important, and the score is way more important than how I deliver a line. That's kind of a knowledge that I didn't have 10 years ago when I was studying. Like when I was doing like plays and I was doing auditions and going up for soap operas. Like that level of confidence of like, no, I can just say the line. Like I can say it clearly, and because the music and the sound effects are going to tell the story for me, I don't have to have facial expressions. I don't have to have tension. I don't have to have the weight of the story on my face. I don't have to telecast and show you guys what I'm really feeling. Like, the music can do all of that. I can just kind of relax and be present, right? That's like a little bit of knowledge that, like, I wouldn't have learned unless I had gone through, obviously, the 10 years of acting and not making it, but then also the 5 years of now being on, you know, of being away from acting and trying something different.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Josh, I need to ask you this. Several months back, I write you here on Instagram, but I guess you didn't saw it. I love your work. I love Anamorphia. I fall in love with those two videos, man. They are unbelievable. And I want to make a video tribute to Anamorphia, and I want to have your permission to do it. Oh,
yeah, so I don't know how I feel about that. What kind of, like, part of me is flattered and I don't want to get in the way of your art. But then the other part of me is like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't experienced that feeling before. You're the one that reached out to me asking me to do it on your phone.
Probably we are using a camera because I'm gonna do it with a friend. I'm not gonna do it alone. But mostly we are gonna do it with phones. Yeah, with iPhones.
So what is the? Tell me the idea. What is what's the goal or what's the purpose? I'm not gonna stop you. I mean, you do whatever you want, but like if you want an honest, answer from me. Like, I could be a nice guy here, and I could tell you, like, go, yeah, do it. Don't stop the vision. Do it. But if you really want my respect and you want to, like, impress me or I would say make your story. Make the story that Frank has been waiting 37 years to tell, right? Whatever that one is. Like, figure that out. And then ask me for help on that, and I'll, send that one to me. I'd much rather watch someone else's work than watch someone take my work, and because there's just so many other motives behind it. It gets really messy. It gets really like, I don't know. It's just bizarre. I mean, I think some content creators enjoy that, like they revel in it. But for me, I like originality, and I like it when someone is inspired by something, but then they go make something completely different. Making a clone of Anamorphia with the cell phone. I don't know if it's going to do anything other than it might get...
It's not going to be... It's not...
Oh, well then what's the idea?
It's not about... let me write it to you. And let me write it to you and I send you and you read it and you let me know your thoughts about it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I could be totally wrong. I could be totally way off base here.
Josh, have you...
I'll always give you the honest truth, though. I'll always tell you the truth.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
And I appreciate that all the time. What do you know about my country? What do you know about Colombia?
Never been to Colombia. And
but have you come
I guess
to
the coffee
America
is good.
anytime?
Huh?
Have you come to South America?
No, the furthest south I've gone is Panama.
Panama.
Yeah.
That's close by. That's really close.
not too far. Anyway,
you speak Spanish?
not anymore. My mom is a former Spanish teacher, and my wife speaks great Spanish. No hablo.
Why not?
I don't know. I guess I don't have anybody that speaks Spanish with enough that it makes... Like, there's enough stuff going on in my brain, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to, like, free up space, like, learn Spanish. I don't know if I have time for that one. Frank, I think I got one more question for you, if you...
Yeah, I have it right here. It's really important.
Okay.
Most of colleagues that I have been... that I know here, in my country especially, they said... we have to knock doors. We have to knock doors. We have to go to companies to make brand deals. Mm-hmm. We need to go over them, and as such, you are you work with DJI, you work with Axibo, you work with Sony, you work with etc. How does that happen? The
magic number is about it's numbers. First of all, I think the magic number for getting a brand deal is about 20,000, at least on YouTube. When I broke 20,000, the floodgates opened up and people were interested in doing brand deals. Now, it wasn't the big boys yet. I think when I hit 25, that's when Sony got interested in me. But I think it's just a visibility and a numbers game at that point. But the interesting thing is that the numbers after that don't really matter much. Like, it helps having 100,000, but my life hasn't changed. The brand deals haven't changed for me going from 100 to 300. You know what I mean? I'm sure it'll shift again after 1 million. I feel like The super big car brands and brands that aren't associated with camera tech will probably pay more attention to me after 1 million. But I think for any creator starting out, I think getting it to like 5, 10, 15, you shouldn't have any problem getting a brand deal. Most of the time, it's about the quality of the work, though. You know what I mean? Like Sony was interested in me because I was looking at Sony cameras in a completely different way. You know what I mean? I was like, let's make this color, or let's make this low light profile, or let's, create a burst lapse. You know what I mean? So, like, really, I wasn't chasing after views, but what I was doing was creating my own tools within their ecosystem, and I was getting people to talk about it. And I think that's what, if I can give anybody a piece of advice on starting a channel, getting noticed, what piece of content can you make that's going to get talked about, right? What is it that's going to get shared, right? I think a lot of times we fall into this trap of like, let's try to go viral, let's chase the trends, let's do something. And I think we forget that like there's a lot of value in just finding something that you're into, that's interesting, that has the likelihood of one person sharing it with another person and just talking about it because it is interesting or it was done well. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah, sure.
I don't think you need like a crazy amount of subscribers. I do know that 20,000 is a lot for people starting out. Like it seems like a crazy number, but I had done 15.
The problem here is that they think they're good, they are talented, and they have, I don't know, like 5K or something subscribers, and they go and knock doors and they say, hey, we make videos and stuff. And I said, no, that's not the way you do it. That's not the way you do it, because brands obviously need to see numbers. But
I mean, I think brands also need to see, like, I think it's more important than numbers, body of work. I think brands are more interested in like who is going to put the energy into representing the brands well, like whether that's like with exceptional footage or photographs or just, like obviously with their passion. Like I don't have a passion for Canon cameras, even though I used them professionally when I was filming for primetime television, right? I don't think I've done like one video on Canon. It just, they're not bad cameras. They're great cameras, but it didn't make sense for me to go make a bunch of videos about Canon cameras trying to chase subscribers. You know what I mean? But with Sony, with it being low light and being at super sensitive and low light and having the flange distance a little closer so that you could actually get an f/0.95 lens, right? That really appealed to me. That made me super engaged and interested. And so that's why originally I started doing, Sony camera videos, right? Yeah. Following that. So I would just say stick with following whatever it is that you're into. And I think it's a totally realistic goal that someone that's grinding hard at it can break 15,000 subscribers. It took me 15 videos and 6 months of hard ass work every single day to get a video that broke 1,000 views. 15, the first 15 videos on my channel, when I uploaded them, none of them broke 1,000 views. 15, like for 6 months. I thought it was never going to happen. I was like, man, I can't even do the YouTube thing. And meanwhile, at the time, Peter's channel had just launched and broke like 1.9 million and like gave all the YouTubers a complex, you know what I mean? Because he's just had this meteoric growth that just came out of nowhere, right? And so you have now you have this pool of like people trying to compete for the same things, and they all have the same skill set, right? So it made it very challenging. And I'm sure that like as much as it's funny, I see now what I am probably doing to some people, giving them a complex about being a perfectionist or whatnot, as some of the content creators that I would watch that gave me, you know what I mean? Like that whole complex of like, oh, he makes it look so easy. If I just do this, if I just add Otis' voice to my videos, it'll make them go viral. You know what I mean? Or I don't even think viral is the right word. I've never had a video go viral, by the way.
I showed Anamorphia 1 and 2 to a pair of friends, and they said, "This guy is the Tony Stark of filmmaking."
The Tony Stark. Yeah. Not anymore. Otis is dead.
Sadly, I love Otis. I love her.
You know what's funny is, like, if you guys were to watch a scene of me filming Otis, this is how the scene would go. I'd be like, "Oh, really, Otis? Okay." Right? Like, there's nothing happening. There's nothing. And then I just make the voice later. Like, it's total performance. It takes so long, and it was so enjoyable for so long. And what I loved about Otis is that I was able to learn storytelling, right? So I'll say this one last thing, and then I gotta switch gears because I gotta call somebody. But what I loved about Otis was that, you know, really good writing is the ability to write story and to cause tension, right? And to hide exposition. And you hide exposition in dialogue. But if you don't have actors at your disposal to, like, listen to get this feedback of how the dialogue is going, it's hard to do that. It's hard to write dialogue. It's hard to write believable dialogue that sounds real, that gives the information in an organic way. And so when I first created Otis, I did think that it was going to be a super catchy kind of thing. And I was like, oh, I can make this electronic voice. I'm like, maybe she, like, is a partner with me, right? And I started manipulating the way the dialogue works. And at first it was, I used Otis to pump up myself, right? So I would say something that was, she would say something that was incorrect, and then I would correct her because I knew the answer. So it made me look good. But that's like surface level dialogue. Then I started getting, and then I was like, I should be doing the opposite because that's making the audience fall in love with Otis. What the audience really falls in love with is when someone is human and there's flaws and there's mistakes and it humanizes them. And so with Anamorphia 1, I attempted to make the relationship more three-dimensional where I have obvious flaws and she is aware of them. And because she's aware of them and I'm aware of them and we go back and forth, it makes the banter more enjoyable and it makes the relationship feel real. And it's like, oh, these are two friends talking. You know, it's no longer like this is his robot assistant. It's like, oh, they have history. And then in Anamorphia 2, it was more of a graduated process of that, where it was like, there's way more history, and how can I transform Otis even more? And how can, instead of it simply being, how can Otis make me look good by correcting me? It was like, what vulnerability, like at that time I had already explored all of my vulnerabilities, but Otis at the time was like this, she was like this perfect, Frank, I lost you, Frank. That's what happens. You just hang up on somebody. All right, so.
Hey guys, Future Frank here. As you probably saw, it was a long video. The interview just dropped off because, you know, when you make a call or a live on Instagram, it lasts only 1 hour. Thank you so much, Josh, for taking your time and answering me some of my questions. I enjoyed it really, really much. I have a great time, a phenomenal time, dude. I hope I can speak with you sooner. And when just the call dropped off, Peter McKinnon came in.
This is actually the first time I've actually talked to him. I've never actually spoke to Peter in real life. There he is! There he is!
Okay, so I have never done a live stream on my channel, ever.
Yeah, it's.
I've only been on Instagram Live. This is my 3rd time. I did it once to test. I did it once with Zach King, and now I'm doing it with you.
Yeah.
This is the 3rd time ever. I'm a little bit scared of live stuff. I don't know why. It just freaked me out, and having a keyboard to control cameras while live would. I think I'd pass out.
I embrace the flaws. That's all I can say. Because like, I was supposed to do a demo of Orbit, and I blew up the motor like 20 minutes before the stream. And like the clock's winding down, and I'm like, oh, I'm supposed to go up in like 10 minutes now. I haven't even done audio check. I'm like, oh my god, the motor blew up.
That's just like that's the way it goes. Of course it did.
I have a few masters or mentors here in YouTube. Josh is one of them. Casey Neistat is one of them. But Peter McKinnon, I got a lot of inspiration of this guy. He is unbelievable. He's so incredible talented, and I have so much respect for his job. I hope that one day, sooner than later, I can speak with Peter too. Well guys, I'm not going to take any more of your time. This is this week video. Thank you for your longest time to watch the whole thing. I'm doing my best to improving the lighting, the background, and if you believe it or not, this is being shot with my iPhone 12 Pro Max using a Moment 58mm. How does it look? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you, please subscribe, and see you on the next week with another video. Okay guys, see you around. Bye. That wasn't the smooth at all. Okay, bye.